ever since I redid my office back in 2019 and I redid the camera positions, it's been good. It's been really good. But the thing is, I've never been really happy with the camera placement. And as anyone knows on this channel, I love to always be improving my quality and improving my flexibility. And while this camera position is great for a single on point kind of face forward position, it doesn't allow for flexibility. I can't turn the camera. I can't move the camera. It's on kind of a weird tilt that some of you might notice, some of you might not. I don't know how well I balanced it out. I think I balanced it pretty well, but it's very fixed, and I'm not a fan of that. So in a way to kind of rectify that problem, I have decided to go out and do what I do best and spend more money, a lot more money. And I looked for anything that would support a camera. And luckily I came across this, an Arkon camera mount. It's actually for CCTV cameras to be kind of mounted from the ceiling and drop down. But based on this construction, it looks like it might work. So let's take a look at this Arkon camera mount and see exactly if it's going to do the purpose and how well can it support my new ideas. Because if it works, I can tell you right now, I'm going to buy 5 more of them. Taking a look at the Arkon mount packaging, we can see this is a very plain Jane packaging. It's a commercial product. There isn't going to be a whole lot of fanfare here. Opening it up, we get the camera mount. We get our mounting hardware with some wall anchors, as you are supposed to put this into a wall or into a ceiling. And we have our instruction set. Looking at the mount itself, it's all metal construction. You can see that the bottom here moves in an omnidirectional fashion. The middle section here only moves in one direction, and the top section also moves in an omnidirectional fashion. The camera we're going to be putting onto the mount is my new Canon T7i, which is going to be my new webcam. And we're going to, instead of mounting it to a wall or a ceiling, we're actually going to use these blocks of wood to mount it in there. That way I actually have more control over where the mount goes and where the camera gets placed on the live stream. But this camera view is awful, and it's going to be terrible to set this up. So let's quickly move you guys to a better perspective. Now, before we go drilling anything into any blocks of wood, we really should do one more test with the camera just to make sure we know how it's going to sit and kind of get it mocked up here on the block. So let's put the camera on the mount, and we'll just start to position it where we think it's going to try and go and work our way from there. Putting it in the center of the block here would be the best and most logical option, trying to go with the center of mass and everything. But unfortunately, we are going to be kind of extending out the camera. And as there is a hard stop on 2 sides of this bottom ball joint, we don't want it to hit the wood and really kind of mess us over. So we're actually going to put it to the edge here. And at the edge, since the center of mass is going to be pushed so far forward, it is going to tilt. So we are going to have to devise both a counterweight system and some almost like shims or support blocks to go underneath the arm to support the end height that we want to go with. I don't know what that is at this time, but we'll know when we take it to the actual office. With our positioning of the mount in place, let's go grab our Sharpie, and we're just going to dot out where the holes are going to go and grab our drill bit. Let's just drill through and put the screws in, and boom, it is now anchored. Now we can actually put the camera on top and go to the office and see how this actually is going to look. Finally, we get to put the camera on the shelf, moving the old camcorder out of the way, and going to put the block place here. I extended the arm, and we can see that we knew it was going to pull forward when we extended the arm. And with that, I got 3 2.5 pound weights to act as a counterweight. But then I also knew I needed to get some blocks cut in order to prop up the arm and retain the camera position. Otherwise, it was just going to sag all the way down. This is working for the most part, but I do know that even though this arm is all metal, the joints themselves are okay in strength. As it's expected, this is supposed to be mounted from a ceiling and drop down, not be propped up. And that is kind of my own doing with this product. The Arkon camera mount is not meant for this kind of purpose. I just happen to be using it for this kind of purpose. And that's kind of one of the pros and cons you take when you're doing streaming and you're repurposing other industry products for your own. Now, with the camera being in this position, it does work. The blocks do support it and everything is fine. But ultimately, I think I'm going to have to get a new block cut that's only 1 instead of 2. But because I glued these together, there's no way for me to disconnect the current block I have and drop it down a little bit, just so that way I can get the camera a little bit more eye level. So ultimately, how do I like the Arkon mount? How good is it at what I'm using it for? I'm sure in a commercial purpose for what it's actually designed for, it's a great mount. I can see that the locks are sturdy, the all metal construction is very hefty and very robust, but what's it like for my purpose, for the live streaming purpose? I think this is a great investment for a lot of streamers going forward. I think for anyone who's not using one of these, baby-sized webcams, who's ever using a real DSLR or even a camcorder, a mount like the Arkon mount will do you really, really well. And you can do what I did, where I put it to blocks, and this way you can actually move it around and you're not fixed into one position. This, for a $40 investment, can actually do a lot of good for any kind of broadcast, really, not even the purpose of live streaming. And I think at its price point of whatever I paid, I think I paid like $41 or $47, I feel like I got my money's worth. Now, the only con I can see with this product is the fact the middle part only moves in one axis and it's not telescoping. That is a giant pain in the ass because I want to be able to extend out the arm a little bit. It has a decent amount of length, but without that telescoping feature, you are a little bit locked in on how you can position your camera. There is a finite number of ways you can position it. But if you can get past that limitation, this would be a great addition to anyone's personal stream or YouTube production or anything like that. Especially if you are using a better camera like this one, like what I'm using, which is a Canon Rebel T7i, which if you compare it from the start of the video where I was using a camcorder, the $47 investment to support a more heavy camera was 100% worth it for me. And once I get all the little bugs worked out with the height and the positioning, I think this will probably be one of the best investments I would have made in the last year. So there you guys have it. That is I don't know, this wasn't so much a review, but it was kind of a review of the Arkon mount. It was a great investment. I enjoyed using this product, and actually, like I said, I like it enough where I think I might get 2 more of them for my other cameras. But like I said, without that telescoping feature, I just can't be buying 5 more of these. If they put the telescoping feature in, I'm more than happy to throw more money at this kind of company in this kind of project. But there you guys have it. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Arif. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit that subscribe button if you like this, and I'll see all of you on the next video. Bye.